Alrighty, welcome to the NELLY Podcast. This is going to be an election edition because it is November 8th, second Tuesday for voting, I think, all across the country for governor, Senate, Congress, everything.
This is not the election for president. It's just the I guess it's the election that we have every 2 years. So we're gonna get new school board members, or some will definitely probably stay the same. New Senate, like you said. Just I guess not president though.
Another 2
That's
years.
in another 2 years. Joe Biden's term will be up, and we're gonna have a different election for that. But I guess today, since it is election day, we're gonna do a special on it, and so we're just gonna talk about, I guess, a lot about the.
We'll do, I think, electoral college, which I feel like is a bit of a controversial topic, if you know what I mean, because for the people watching who don't know, the electoral college is really who determines the president, right?
Yeah, we still vote for president, but you can take the 2016 election in for account, I guess, here, because during this election, Trump was beat by 3 million, I think,
popular
something
vote.
like that, in popular. And so, kind of depends how you look at it. It could be a blowout, could be kind of small for 50 million votes, I guess. But but then Trump kind of destroyed Hillary Clinton, I guess.
In my mind, what that says,
30
which
votes
is
or something.
quite a bit of votes, for it, because it's only 270 to win. But really, in my mind, what that says is you don't need to vote for president, because you already got these 535 people that are determining that. But I think that's why it's so important to vote for, today, to vote for Congress and everything, because those are people who decide.
Yeah. Personally, I would say for just the general population, it's almost more important to vote today than actually the presidential election, because who we're electing today is going to represent us in our states. So
Yeah, and I think here for us in Wyoming, the head candidate most likely to win is Harriet Hageman, which she'll be representing. I don't actually know the Democratic candidate, but I think they have much lower chance of winning the election today.
we are down here in Wyoming.
Yeah, sorry, I
so
forgot to mention, but
chances are not great of a Democratic winner, but they are there. Times are changing, I
because
guess.
you go around and you see it's kind of in between, because I've seen a lot of Hageman, a lot of Cheney, but Cheney obviously lost, so she would have been the only other one. But I think Hageman's definitely the head runner to get it.
Yeah, I would say she's definitely in the top 80%. I would assume in Wyoming, I would say about 80% of the population is going to vote for.
I think locally, though, as though we're in Cody, Wyoming, some people will be voting for is, of course, is it governor, right? Mark Gordon, will be voting. I think he's the incumbent governor, which is the one in office right now. But then also school board will be re-electing 3 members.
Honestly, though, this school board year is going to be kind of interesting. We got a lot of different people. We have Brandy Nelson, Karen Nielsen
Kathy
Schiffman,
Rhodes, and Billy
Bob
Strumke.
Berry,
And there's a bit of a weird one out here. So there's I think William Lassiter is his name, trying to get a write-in, which is very unlikely, because there's not going to be many people that are just going to write your name in. But he's running for it, per se. Just doesn't have his name on the ballot.
Write-ins are
the best idea,
yes, common. Was Kanye?
I think it might have been a write-in.
I think that might have been a write-in. Kanye had a few thousand, if even, votes, on a write-in. So then you have to take that into percentage of millions, and then you have to think about, a small town like Cody. And, the chances of someone winning an election off a write-in are pretty low.
It's not popular.
And I feel if you're really, like, if you're coming into the school board election, you're going to be on the ballot and you're, like, a high candidate, like all those 5 that we just listed. But, I mean, this guy's not even on the ballot. He's not attending,
forums, I think, for the high school.
Yeah. He's not at the forum. I mean,
he's really...
nobody, like...
Yeah, really...
I didn't even know about him
really
until now, honestly.
Don't really know what he looks like.
I would say that it's not looking good for him to be
I feel like
elected.
a big thing that's part of being elected, per se, is going to community events, football games, sports, just really all sports kinds. And if you don't see these people out there, which I feel like they should, supporting the schools, doing all that, I mean, it's kind of hard to vote for them, because you don't think they're putting time and effort into even paying attention.
I mean, a lot of, there's, like, the people that are on the board right now, I feel like school board means a lot to them. They have kids in the schools, like, I don't know, just, I see them at sporting events, They're definitely, like, going for the spot, and I think that they have a better chance than
people, like, and I feel maybe
running right now.
Not really to throw anybody's name out there or anything, but like Bob Berry, he's a bit older than the other candidates, I would say, which is, I understand, tough to make to the events because, like, you may not have any kids, maybe grandkids, but you just don't have anybody really that you're going for. But I still feel that maybe you should try to attend as much you can.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people will just, when they're voting, look at Democratic or Republican, like, they'll know the person and be like, I'm not going to vote for you because I'm Republican and they're Democratic. But honestly, when it comes to school board, I feel like the best thing is, like, it doesn't matter maybe what party you're in. It's kind of like how well you know the kids and what you're going to do for them. And I know a few people that don't, like, they're voting for, like, the Republicans because they're Republicans. But I think, like, watching the school board forum, that, like, personally changed my opinion, like a lot, I learned a lot about all the candidates, and I think that's kind of
I feel like
watch
those,
the forum.
I mean, they do those for a reason, obviously, to say what they're going to do, get their name out there, everything in between. But, if, like, you're not watching that and you're going in just really blind voting, he's Republican, like, very conservative, I feel like that's not a huge part, of what they're doing. Like, if they're Democratic, Republican, I feel like it's not like presidential, where they could change the whole, like, everything, This could just really help the schools. But I feel like people need to be aware of that because they're just voting blindly for people that they don't really know. They just know that they're Republican, or Democratic or whatever. But
so, this is a very important election, though. Definitely. I mean, we can kind of see that here. We explained a lot of stuff. I feel like one of the biggest things, though, in the U.S. right now is how many people are really educated in voting. Like, in our school right now, I guess we're learning about it, and I think that's probably a really good thing for when we get older and we can vote, because, how many people are really gonna know, like, what's the Electoral College? I bet you could go out there and ask people, and they would, like, full adults, and they would have no idea
I think
what the
maybe
Electoral College is.
half would, less than half, I don't know, because people just aren't educated, so.
Yeah. Probably statistics out
And,
there. We haven't looked at them, but
I think overall the Electoral College is an interesting system, to say the least, in my opinion.
There is a fairness to it and yet a not fairness, because down here in Wyoming, we're the least populated state in the whole U.S. But there's a bare minimum of votes that you can have. And we have 3 right now.
Have 3 if we were to, per se, do popular vote over electoral.
Yeah. It does give us a little bit more of a say in it. Like, I don't think 500,000 votes is really going to do too much in, like, an election. I feel like the Electoral College, you got to take it into account, so that, like, 3 votes out of, like, 270 is probably a little bit greater than 500,000.
50 million, hundreds of million, I think, California maybe, but at the same time, like, it's not really the people's say, because like you said, in 2016, you get this staggerment of around 3 million votes, which is, a lot of people. Not a lot for the election, but it's still a lot of people.
It's quite astounding, honestly. Like, I mean, honestly, I was like, when my parents went to vote, I was like, oh yeah, they're helping elect our next president. Like, I always thought that was so cool for the presidential election, I guess. But now I'm realizing that today is the more so, per se, I guess, like, bigger day for an election, because, I mean, we're electing our people that are going to represent them. And, I mean, I was looking at the 2016 election this year, and it's on this website called 270 to Win. And it was kind of crazy because I think it was down in Texas. There was, like, I don't remember where, but there was a few that,
Texas, yeah.
like, they were elected and to vote Republican, but then they switched, and, like, there's, like, 3 of them that voted Democratic. So, I mean, you have to be careful who you definitely vote in this election.
The biggest and most important, because, you got, like, these votes is popular vote, and it's every single vote counts. If you win by 1 vote, the guy's still winning, or girl, I shouldn't say that, but or girl's winning,